Wow, in this video we are going to learn about Helen Keller. Yeah, Helen Keller. But first, we would love to hear from you. 9-year-old Jackson from Georgia said, I finished all of the animal videos today. My favorites were the shark and spider videos. Very cool. That is awesome, Jackson. We also heard from 8-year-old Yesenia from Louisiana who said, I loved the Rosa Parks video. I am a fan of history. That is great. Thank you for sharing that, Yesenia. Well, that was cool. Be sure and watch this video to the end to learn how you too could be featured on one of our videos. Well, as we mentioned earlier, in this video we are going to learn about Helen Keller and the impact that Helen Keller had on American history. Helen Keller was an author. She wrote 12 books and also wrote many articles. Helen Keller was also an activist. She fought for the rights of women and also for the rights of people with disabilities, especially people in the deaf community. Helen Keller was also an inspiration to countless people, both in her day and in ours. She faced so many obstacles but refused to let anything stop her from living the life she wanted to live, one that still impacts people today. Let's look at her story and see how she has inspired so many people. Here is where her story begins. Helen Keller was born in 1880 in the state of Alabama. Here we have a map of the United States. Do you know where the state of Alabama is? Where is the state of Alabama on the United States map? Yeah, right here, right down here in the southern part of the United States. That's where Helen Keller was born in 1880. Unfortunately, when she was just 1.5 years old, Helen Keller got very sick. And this is the really sad part. The sickness made her both deaf and blind, and she would remain deaf and blind for the rest of her life. People who are deaf are not able to hear. People who are blind are not able to see, and Helen Keller was both. Helen Keller was both. From the time she was 18 months old, just 1.5 years old, till the day she died, she was both deaf and blind. She couldn't hear and she couldn't see. Just imagine how confusing and frustrating life would be if you were not able to hear or see. She had trouble communicating without the ability to see or hear. No one knew how to help her, but that changed just before Helen Keller turned 7 years old. You see, a teacher named Anne Sullivan came to help Helen Keller in 1887. She taught young Helen how to communicate. It was a big challenge for Anne Sullivan. Remember, Helen Keller could not hear or see. Anne Sullivan was an incredible teacher, and Anne Sullivan used to be blind as well, though she had surgery that allowed her to see again, so she understood a little bit where Helen Keller was coming from. She was patient with Helen and taught her not only how to communicate, but also taught her how to read books using Braille. Anne Sullivan opened up a whole new world to Helen Keller. And here's the cool part. They remained close friends for 49 years. Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan were truly a team, and they were friends for 49 years until Anne Sullivan passed away. Thanks to Anne Sullivan's teaching and Helen Keller's hard work and study, as a young woman she was accepted into a university. Helen Keller studied at Radcliffe College. She became the first deafblind person to receive a Bachelor of Arts degree. Helen Keller wrote many books. People were impressed not just with her writing, but with her extraordinary story. Helen Keller became a famous author and started speaking not just in the United States, but all over the world. Helen Keller spoke about life as a disabled person, women's rights, and raised funds for the American Federation for the Blind. Helen Keller lived to the age of 87. By the end of her life, she had visited 39 countries and 5 continents and had inspired countless people. Hey, what inspires you about the life of Helen Keller? Feel free and share that with us below in the comments section. Helen Keller was an author, an activist, and inspiration to everyone that we don't have to let the challenges in life bring us down. We can do great things.
So, you made it to the end of the video. You are awesome. Remember the kids' comments? We promised you we would share how you too could be featured on one of our videos. With the help of an adult, leave your first name, age, and where you are from along with a comment. You can share a joke, a silly message, or just share how much you love us. If you are watching this as a class, you can leave a comment too. Just share your teacher's name, your grade, and where you are from for a chance to be featured on one of our videos. We hope to hear from you soon!
Thanks for watching this video! Click the button right in the middle of the screen to subscribe. Or you can watch these 2 videos. See you there!